Are we live? Are we live, pal? I think we're live, pal. Well, the thing says we're live, so I guess we are live. Um, we're live, pal. Uh, we're live, pal. Fuck off and be a fan. Enjoy the show. I wonder if I should censor that bit. Who cares? If you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. The tabletop image should be plain lamb. Yes, I'm wondering if that went through. If I could put that on there, because I would very much like that on the desktop. Let's put that on the desktop. Because why wouldn't you? Image 2. And there we go. There we go. Now, now we got ourselves a proper thing there. One of these days we'll include the proper open for these things that I used to do to start the show off, but I don't anymore because I want you to understand. I want you folks to understand something, okay? I bought this tower, this giant ass tower. It's like a couple $1,000 or whatever. A couple years ago, I probably only used it like a handful of times, and most of those times it was just to do a stream. Because the idea was to migrate from this mini PC that I have sitting here, that I used to edit all the videos and do other stuff, and move it all here. And things didn't go according to plan because I just kept making more videos on the mini PC. And also, it's just working fine for me. So I figured, why not? So here we are. I have no idea what we're doing because I have nothing ready. The joke was I was going to load up a WWE, whatever WWE game I had on Steam, whatever the new one I have. Not the newest one because that's like super expensive. And honestly, I haven't bought a new WWE game since... you could check. You have Steam right in front of you. We're downloading the thing before the frame rate started to stutter, and that's why you had to pause it. So that was the plan. We're not doing that because I still have I only downloaded like 27% in the past half hour. Or 50 gigs, and it's a wired connection. So it should be like, anyways. How are we all doing? We're not doing very well. We're not doing very well, are we? Anyways. How many people are going to take that literally? Okay. So we're not really doing much of anything at the moment. So I might as well... yeah, because honestly, I've got nothing planned, so I got to figure something else to do. The only thing I got hooked up is a Switch. which is probably just as well because it's the only thing I got running. And I don't want to I don't want to throw Tetris on there because that's like kind of a running joke. You've got nothing else going on. Let's just put Tetris on there, and I'm like, well, whatever. So I don't know. I'm gonna find something else I got on here. At least if I need to download something on a Switch. Yeah, it's a Switch 1 because the Switch 2 is too expensive, and I have little reason to buy one at the moment. Despite the ginormous price hike that's coming up, which everything's got a price hike, so that's going to be amazing, wonderful, and something I don't know. Oh, welcome aboard, regardless. I'm having everything else issues because I got nothing ready. Because I took a nap at a couple hours ago, and turned out it was a couple hours of nap, and I just woke up like a short while ago. Okay, so what are we going? What are we gonna? What can I? What do I have that's actually downloadable? And I don't. Why can't it? So whatever. What do we got here? I have to remind myself to get one of those switches for the PS3. One of those wonderful switches that lets you circumvent the so I could capture footage through HDMI, which you normally can't do because of the HCDP or whatever it is. So you gotta have a workaround, and I had a workaround, but the sound was lagging on that, so I gotta find another one of those, which is fine for like I don't know, who cares. Uh, what are we doing here? So you're gonna be looking at Sad Uncle Paul and Maya Cartman over there. Well, I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna play on this thing because that's all I got going for it. That's all I got right now because I've got nothing ready, nothing at all. I was gonna do, like I said, I was gonna run the WWE game, but that's still downloading. That's actually downloads on queue because if I try to do this and I try to download at the same time, the frame rate's gonna drop like a rock. No pun intended. So we're not gonna do that. Um, I wanted to do a couple DOS games, but I still haven't moved those over because again, I took a very long nap, longer than I would have liked. So that ain't happening. Uh, are we still okay? We're still. I have to check. I have to because God damn it. Okay, we are live. Apparently, okay, we're live. Okay, good. Uh, so, how are we doing today? Can you give me something at least? Can we avoid NES? Can we do Mario World? I got. They're probably not. So I'm looking at this. I'm looking at this from my TV because right now I can't switch it because this. I want to try to keep the boring bits out, and that's why I'm talking a lot, so I could fill the dead air, even though I don't have much to say. Oh, good, it's English. Okay, half the things like Mario Party and Mario Golf and tennis and sports and oh god damn it, do I want Killer Instinct? Yeah. Puzzle League. Hey, you know what? Actually, I'm gonna play something, and they did put it up recently, so I figured why not. The Dr. Mario Puzzle League, because I want something that's easy on the brain, so I don't have to think too much on it. Again, not the most exciting thing, not the most exciting thing, but it'll give me a chance to talk and not. Okay, there's something new to play. I'm sure there is. Right. So guess we could switch to the thing now. That's what we're gonna play. And yeah, so I figure about we'll do about, I said about 90 minutes because I gotta wake up early in the morning because I got a family thing to take care of. So I don't know how old the audio is. Okay, I should probably lower that lower. I think it's good enough. It's one of the issues, right? Anyways, it's one of those things. Let's move the keyboard to the back. I don't really need it at the moment. Hopefully, anyways, yeah, Puzzle League. Fast. In hindsight, you probably should have just called it Puzzle League back in the 90s instead of calling it Tetris Attack. Then you wouldn't have annoyed Hank Rogers all that much, but that's okay. Calling it Yoshi's Puzzle League or something like that, who cares? Doesn't matter. Yeah, we always liked this game, actually. It's nice and soothing and I haven't played much GBA on Switch. Anyway, okay, so it's the bumpers. Okay, so we know how that works. We know how these things work now. I could have waited, but who cares? So, right, so as far as the video output for the next month, I've pretty much got that ready to go. So if I shit, I don't have my notes. Didn't feel like playing Castle. Well, I was gonna do the DOS version, but that's not on this tower. I have it set up on the mini PC, but I don't have it on here. So, that's it. It's like I had this on. I'm just throwing this up there like fast. I had nothing ready. So next time, I actually wanted to do. I'm afraid to download anything. I wanted to do the Simon Quest one. I wanted to do the full playthrough of the demo. I'll probably say next time. I might do another stream. Like I don't know if I'm up to it, I might do another one next week, or possibly during the week. I don't know. We'll see. But there's actually a reason why. Here we are. Wonderful thing about Puzzle League, a game like this, it could go up slowly. I don't have to do anything. I could focus on other things like looking for notes that I need for something. Right, so Legend of Double Dragon. Is that the one with? That's not the one with that where they had like the wrestlers on there. Because I know there was a version of Double Dragon that's some like a fan version of Double Dragon that had like a bunch of like the WWF wrestlers from the old arcade game or something like that. I don't know. I want to stack that up. Oh. Finally got around to playing that. Someone suggested it to me, but I finally got around to playing that Chronicle, the Castlevania Chronicles 2. The one that remakes Simon's Quest, or like reboots Simon's Quest, whatever you want to call it. That's video fodder for down the road. Oh, by the way, I did get the. I got your what's his face there? The downloads for all the ROM hacks, all of the Castlevania ROM hacks on there. I'm saving those for September. I don't know if that's going to be a live thing, live stream, or if that's going to be. That's probably going to be pre-recorded actually, because I'm going to do something special with that. Because something for the 40th, so figured why not. And I don't know when the new one's coming out, so. But oh wait, there we go. So. Just to give you an idea of what we're looking at, we are. I'm purposely playing a slow game so I can have time to focus on my notes here. We're July the 11th, closing out on the 12th. So that means so July 13th we're looking at Squirrel, which is the SNES version of Squirrel King. Then it's Centipede and Millipede on Atari 8-bit. That's this week or the following week, depending on when you're looking at this. You're probably watching this on a Sunday on a replay. More than likely. Maybe. I doubt it, but anyways, July 13th, Squirrel. July 15th, Centipede, Atari 8-bit. July 17th, Millipede, Atari 8-bit. Excuse me. And then the following week is Hyperzone, Spectre, and an X-Men Street Fighter bootleg, all on Super Nintendo. And then the week after, it's DuckTales Remastered, Amazing Spider-Man, both pieces. Fuck. DuckTales Remastered, the one from like last 10 years ago. There's the Amazing Spider-Man, which is a DOS game, and then there's a Switch game that I bought that was like 1 cent. So there you go. That's the video setup for the next month or so. I don't know what we're doing in August. But I do know that September, and I have that scheduled. Again, don't know if that's going to be live or that's going to be pre-recorded. But basically do something Castlevania related for the 40th anniversary. I'll just play the first game again, or some variations of it. I don't know if that's much of it. I could have waited. Who cares? This is just to fill a picture at this point while I'm just rambling, which I can't really do if I'm playing something a little more intensive. Only 5. Okay, whatever. That'll work for me. That works for me better. Anywho. And also at some point I'm gonna take me a while because there's a lot I want to process. But obviously this thing with Sony I want to touch on in some form. And I don't know. I feel like there's a part of me that's wondering if this is going to backfire, or is it really going to matter? Because I feel like every time there's an outrage over something, it ends up being noise. That really doesn't mean anything. Oh, pre-orders and patches and why can't these people do this and why can't these people do that? And, you know, I will never support this company again. It's like, at this point, it's like wrestling fans, for fuck's sake. Oh, I'll never watch this show again. I'll see you next week. Unless most of your WWE programming is behind a Netflix paywall and you live outside the United States where you have to sign up for like 10 different services. I don't. Most of that is behind Netflix paywall, and I don't have a Netflix subscription. Haven't had one in months, to be honest with you, so I don't know what's going on with that shit. And that's another can of worms, but whatever. Nobody cares about that. I don't think... a couple of people I know still watch, but I watch other stuff. I just watch whatever is on the vault, because it's got a bunch of old shit, and old shit makes me happy, marginally speaking. Depends on the old shit. They saw fit to bring back the... Anyways, who cares? You get what you paid for, which is not much. Speaking of which, did I mention I bought a Switch game for 1 cent? Digitally, of course, because a game cart for 1 cent plus tax, you get 2 cents. Which would be impossible because if you're paying cash, you'd have to pay like 5 cents minimum because they discontinued the penny. At least in Canada, actually. In Canada, they discontinued the penny, so the minimum, so you gotta round out to the nearest 5th cent, the nearest nickel. But, anyways. This is random musings that come to mind when you're playing a slow-ass game like Puzzle League, which is perfect for these stray thoughts that I couldn't otherwise convey playing something like... And again, all I was gonna do... And here's the idea that I was gonna do for this show. Terrible fucking show, mind you. Anyways, listen to me. It's going faster. I don't want it to go faster. I'm trying to have a nice moment here. Puzzle League is nice and soothing. Nice and soothing, you didn't miss much. Ah, shit. exciting here. Come on. There we go. So just for the sake of posterity, probably no reason to do this. I'm actually recording this on the side. Hopefully it turns out nice. In the event that the live stream somehow goes crap, I'll at least have something to on the side to sort of back up, and if I feel the need to upload the whole thing, I'll get around to doing that. But I think we're okay. There's just I had a few drop frames at the beginning there because that was also because I had a download in progress. So the minute I try to download something off Steam, that's when it goes. But again, I'm hoping that the next time I do this streaming shit, I'll be... Well, first of all, I'll try not to take a nap. And wake up like a half hour before. Like, that's the real killer. Like, sleep's the ultimate enemy when it comes to this sort of thing. But on the other hand, the fact that I can't sleep. Now, I've been getting better sleep, actually, as of late, so that's a good thing. That's a good sign. I've never had that much before. Like, health-wise, I'm doing fine. Yeah, I even had graphics ready, but I forgot to move them to the tower. You know, even with Microsoft's insistence on reminding me that you have OneDrive, you could share your shit in the cloud among all your devices, which kind of convenient in some ways, because that's where I store all my text files for the dubs and shit, where I store all the review material for dubbing. And that's about it, really. And listen, here's the thing now. People are so concerned about this digital future, where the reality is it's going to get worse. I mean, right now, in some cases, you could at least download some shit. And if you could download it, you could back it up, and one of these days, you'll figure out how to jailbreak your console, and that'll be fun. Well, you're going to figure out how to do that for PS3, actually. Wait, what's that? What's that? I think I hear somebody bang on the door. Oh shit, it's the fence! Gotta get out of here! No. No, you get the idea, though. it's... I mean, fuck, at this point... What's the old saying? If it isn't... Buying isn't owning, it isn't... Piracy isn't stealing, well... Problem with piracy... I say problem, but it's like it's a problem for them, not so much anybody else. Because, let's be fair, half the time people pirate because they can't afford it. Another reason is they don't want to pay. And then the other reason being that their legally obtained version doesn't work all that well because of the DRM that's installed. And the DRM is what kills a good majority of your digital games. Especially on the PC side, when you have to worry about stuff like you have to sign into Origin, or you got to sign in for this or that, and there's some anti-cheating software that's preventing you from cheating, but really is preventing you from running the game properly or running it at all. You know, how many games on Steam did I get that has a whole bunch of stuff, and I'm just sort of spitballing here, but somewhere along the way I do want to touch on that in greater detail. I've got a lot of thoughts on that, but I'm gonna save that for whenever I could do a proper thing on that, because that's going to be a mess. That's going to be a hell of a mess. It's going to be... I don't know. Okay, Double Dragon Reloaded. Okay. That one I haven't played. Well, I haven't played any of them, but I've seen the other one. I've seen somebody else play it online. Like, you know, there's a couple of guys that I've seen that played that one. But, yeah. That's nice. It's not bad though. It's a healthy enough run. So. Anyways, so I guess we have to. I guess we're going to see what happens with the. We're going to see how this whole deal turns out, but honestly, my hopes aren't high. Because, like I said, the way things are going, I think things are going to get a lot worse with this whole, the whole Sony deal. It's like, like here's the thing, right? I haven't bought a new, other than the Switch, regular Switch. And it's not even like the original. It's like the slightly revised version from a couple years later. Because, like I said, I like waiting a couple years before I get a new console. If only because that's when, you generally get a good idea of what's available on a system. Because ideally, launch, there's nothing. That's just that's just like the way, I don't know. The way I think it's like you wait a couple years, that's when you start to notice some of the heavy hitters. That's when they start to pop up. Because a console at launch usually doesn't have the best lineup. But even now, and it's not just a matter of the price being a factor, it's also just a matter of I've got more than enough stuff on this regular Switch one that I bought. even that's like a bit of a interesting thing because I bought this at the flea market. Which sounds like shady or anything like that, but no, this was no. But the guy that I used to buy games from recently retired, like a couple years back. Good dude. Always gave me good deals on stuff, and I bought bought the Switch from him. He actually bought Vectrex, which that's another thing I gotta start playing again. I gotta start doing side videos on. But it just never happened. And then I was in the process of I'm doing this side thing too, where I'm but I'm re-editing all the old reviews so that they're all numbered. I'm in the process of slowly replacing those. And I'm dead. There we go. That was fun. That was fun and exciting. But I don't want fun and exciting. I don't want to have fun today. I want to have nice, calm, normally, whatever the case may be. That's. I like that we've been playing for like 25 minutes of stuff. Ah. So we proved a couple things here. This thing still works after, I swear to God, months of, when was the last stream? I don't recall, but like the last proper stream was probably, I think, earlier this year. Probably the Zelda one, I think. And I did want to make another one though. I make a point to want to, I made a point to want to try and do more streams, but it just hasn't worked out. But good news is I'm going to have some time off in a little bit, and I'm going to get this one quick batch of videos ready to go, and then I'm going to hopefully start migrating everything to the tower, so that I'll probably keep the mini PC though, because that's still pretty good. Like I probably won't use it for like Vegas or stuff like that, which that'd be fun to have. That'd be fun to do. And tower's nice and quiet though. If I were running this on the if I were running this on the mini PC, the fan would be going crazy, but so far, thankfully, we'll see how long that lasts. Hopefully that lasts a good while. I would very much like it to last a good while, because, yeah. I should complain about the digital internet. Oh yeah. That's... Yeah, the internet, like... I mean, that's the big worry for me. That's going to be the big worry for me. Like, people are so worried about the digital future. Oh, you're not going to be able to own your games. Well, pretty soon you're not going to be able to download your games. You're going to have to play everything on your little cloud. And your little cloud needs a good internet. If you don't have a good internet, look, I have pretty decent internet, and some games on the Ant stream tend to stutter. And it's not fantastic. So imagine somebody who doesn't have good internet trying to I've got the PC Game Pass, which again lets me download stuff. So again, pretty convenient. I guess it's like, dude, I really don't want to talk about that. I really don't want to talk about this stuff because I can't. This is something that like I get upset about, and there's a lot for me to get about. There's a lot for me to get upset about because and I'm looking this, mind you, I look at this from like a largely cynical point of view. And it's something I've wanted to talk about. It's something I wanted to talk about for a while, but at the same time though, I've been putting it off for so long. But now that, you know, there's the inevitability of like, look, I haven't bought a new PlayStation since the PS3, and even that was secondhand. And all I will say is that I'm thankful that the digital side worked. That's going to be gone for a while. You know what it is? Granted, there's no way you could make that not stink. But given that we're not making discs anymore in 2028. If it was that alone, it'd be like one thing. But now, but there's also the news of you're getting rid of 500 movies or whatever the case may be that people have bought and they can't buy anymore. And look, I don't know how that works. Look, I don't care about the game. I don't know how that works. I don't know if you're downloading the movies or if you're streaming the movies. Look, if you're streaming the movies, if it's like Prime Video where you're streaming the movies and they get rid of the movies, you know, when they don't have the rights anymore and you can't watch it, that sucks. But at the same time, like, that's my philosophy. If it's a digital download that I can actually download, I'd say sure, why not? But at least I'll have the data on my hard drive and I could move it over to another hard drive and if it gets to that point, find illicit means yours. You know what I'm talking about, presumably. But if I'm paying to buy a license to stream something, you're not even downloading it. You're just streaming it. No thanks. I mean, isn't it bad enough that I have to stream this thing and it'll lag and stuff like that, and I have to pay for that? Really? Now you want me to buy this specific thing that's going to lag every so often? Really? And again, I've got decent internet. I like to think I've got decent internet, and I don't know. I have a PS3, never use it, would sell it, and everyone wants me to sell it for them cheap. Problem with PS3s, they still hold their value. I go online, I see them for a couple hundred here and there. So those things hold their value. It's not like it was like 10, 15 years ago where, you know, I mean, a PS2 set you back like a couple hundred. Like I wanted to get another PS2 because my other one's kind of on the fritz. I ended up getting a PS3 Fat, like one of the original PS3s that allegedly plays PS2 games. Because I know the first set of PlayStation 3s was actually genuinely, legitimately backwards compatible, not the Oh, I wasn't talking about eBay. I was talking about there's a couple places, like a couple online shops I've gone to here and there that actually sell PS2s, PS3s, and they're still like couple hundred something plus tax. Yes. So at least the Japanese PS1 that I bought like a few months back, which to be honest, I only bought for the wrestling games. Like the Tetris games were kind of a bonus because they were cheap enough. Like that's the fun way. Like that's the fun thing. It's like the fun thing about the Japanese games, they're usually cheaper than the English versions. You find a game on the NES that's like a couple $100, but you find a Famicom version, it's probably the same thing. But it's some of the text is in Japanese, and who cares? It's probably a hell of a lot cheaper. So, why not? What could go wrong? Yeah, PS3 first three. Yeah, well, the Slim 2 plays PS1. That's no problem. I bought the Fat for the. I gotta clean that thing up, full. 30 to 50 euro. Oh, good for you. Next texture is enough. Yeah, I wouldn't import. I wouldn't go for a Japanese PS1 for the Tetris games on there because those are like budget and not worth it. Like I did those a month. Was it a month back? I did those vids. It was the end of March. I don't recall, but yeah. Tetris Plus though, the one from Jalico, that's actually kind of fun because it's got like the puzzle mode and all that. And yeah, we're just gonna look at that. Dim the screen, I don't care. Just dim the screen, whatever. Don't care. If I feel like playing another quick game, sure, why not? And yeah. Yeah, so that's the plan, really. I'm aiming for September for that video to come out. That the whole, I've dubbed it the video of bad news. So so that there you go. I'm gonna put the tease up on the thing there. Bombless is good. Bombless is the one, like, when it was Tetris Blast, they could have kept it as Bombless, but they had to put Tetris on everything. It's a new puzzle game. What can we call it? We call it Tetris. Got a new game with bombs. It's got panel to pawn thing, whatever. No, boom, whatever. Yeah. Anyways, I don't know what we're doing. We'll play another thing puzzle-y because that's all I got ready at the moment. And it's making me think. But yeah. I had that collection of ROMs that you sent me, like, what it was, like a few months back. Like I said, I'm saving that for September because the 40th is coming up. Figured why not do something different for a change. And the video of bad news where I get to talk about, like, how do I do that? How do I do that? But that's the struggle, is trying to figure that out. Trying to figure out how to because that's going about this. I've been lingering on this for several years now. And it's always a matter of, do I really want to talk about this? Do I want to talk about this? And I keep pushing it back, but now you're at a point where it's I feel like I really got to talk about this. But at the same time, we'll see what happens in a couple of months. All I could say, right, immediately right off the bat, all I could say is, if you want to hurt Sony where it hurts, drop them. I hear a lot of people say, well, 2028, they're not getting my money. Why wait? Nothing hurts more than the bottom line. That's all I'm going to say. A new option has been added to the menu. Hoorays! I forget. Oh, vertical mode. Play a new game in vertical mode. Yeah, sure, why not? Tab mode. This is a horrible idea right off the bat. Oh, why did I do this? Ah. Okay, so I didn't catch that. What Game Boy Tetris hacks are there? I'm genuinely curious now. You're making me think. I don't want to think. Perspectives. Like I said, I haven't bought a new the last new system I bought was the Switch. Derp. As you could see. Even though we're playing a game from when did this come out? 2003, 2001. Now my only concern is trying to find a decent Game Boy player. There's 3 twists and 1 twist hacks. Okay. Probably look those up. I'm guessing they add more blocks to the pieces. So it's 4 segments, 5 segments, stuff like that. Or is that something else? Yeah, I don't like this at all. I'd imagine this makes more sense if you're actually playing this on the GBA, but playing this on the screen, it's absolutely dreadful. It's screwing me up big time. Okay, yeah, okay. Alright. So, play it like a Chinese bootleg, pretty much. I mean, I'm not being totally dishonest, let's be fair here. A lot of those brick games are generally made in China. It says so in the packaging, so... Anyway. I do not like this at all. Yeah, this is screwing me up. Because I'm thinking, oh, the pieces will just fall over, but no, it's just like playing this whole thing vertically. Again, if you're playing this on a handheld, you're playing this on the GBA. Sure, it makes sense. Because you got it on the tate mode, or whatever they call it, you know, where you play it on the side. But you can't play it on the side unless I move the whole screen vertically, and I ain't gonna do that for what's essentially what? Another half-hour flip, presumably lasts. Yeah, this is screwing me up, man. I can't play like this. I quit. I'm tapping out. I'm going back to the other way. No, yeah, I know. Okay, I suck. I don't care. You're making me think too much, and it's hurting my brain. And I can't afford to have my brain hurt. It's almost midnight. Well, we'll go for as long as this round goes. Whatever, have the stomach to do another. We'll have the stomach to do another one of these. Yeah, hopefully, either next week or during the week, I'll try to do another one. I'll try to be better prepared. Because, again, I had. Yeah, Wonder Swan. Yeah, that's another one that, this shop downtown that actually has a Wonder Swan, but it's like, the prices those things are going for, man. No thanks. And most of that stuff is probably going to be in Japanese anyway, so I can't read, so I wouldn't be able to read half those games anyway. ESP, huh? What do you do this time? I haven't been following that guy. Oh, I haven't. Generally don't follow that guy. I mostly watch the blooper reels, but. It's like the only time I really like watched that particular fellow was when he was doing those what's his face there? He was doing a bunch of Mega Man runs. I did commentary videos on those years ago. Kind of regret taking those down. I should have just made them private, but I had the idea of redoing those, like re-editing those, moving them to the extra bits. And also, I just didn't feel like getting comments for something that I made years ago, and somebody brings up something and I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Because mind you, I'm like that nowadays. For a video that I uploaded like a couple weeks ago, it's like, well, you did this, and this, and I'm like, what the hell are you? And I just watched, okay, it's for that thing. That's why I'm doing, that's why I do the thumbnails now. With big text, so I know. Because for those of you who watch this on replay, more than likely, you used to get email notifications for whenever somebody would comment on a video or whatever the case may be. And they would tell you which video you got the comment on. Now it's like, you gotta look at the thumbnail and then like, okay, what thumbnail is that? Because if you're not paying attention to your thumbnails, you gotta do your thumbnails. And if you don't know what your thumbnail looks like, it's like, what's that? What that is? That's like, eh. So. And I've been doing that with the reviews too, like the early stuff. I don't know how I'm going to make that public because I don't want to do a thing where I'm taking a whole bunch of videos and I'm mass publishing them. Because then you get the new stuff because then the new stuff gets buried. But I also don't want to be like, we'll sprinkle a little bit every day because then it gets like spammy. So I don't know. Not to mention, do people read the numbers? Might not matter to most people, but it does matter to me. And also, it'd be a fun exercise though, to see how many people pay attention to the numbers and also the dates that these things were recorded on, which I make a big point to mention because it's important to me, so I know when these were it usually provides context, but whatever, who cares? Wanted one to copy the D-pad with 3D printer. With the, you talk about the Wonder Swan? I was in Ottawa the other, what was it, last year? And there was, somebody was selling the Lynx. The Atari Lynx. I don't know if it was like the original or like the revised version, but they were selling the Lynx, and I was like, I thought about it, but at the end of the day, I was like, Like, the truth is, I really don't do the online, I don't do the handheld thing all that much. And if I do, I usually just carry a Game Boy, because it's lighter. Actually, you know what, I carry a Game Boy Micro. I used to carry the Game Boy Micro because that thing was tiny, and the form factor was like fantastic. If you were just playing my mind's a blank now. Yeah. Thank you, Puzzle League Vertical Mode. You broke my brain. I get a chance, and again, I'm thinking very long term, because part of the problem with the commentaries, especially when I was trying to rebuild them, there's the whole content ID thing, and it's like, yeah, whatever there, but it's also some of the files were corrupted. So a lot of the old files are just unrenderable and unusable because I don't know, you need to be on a specific PC. That's just it. It's like, you see one DSP video, you've seen them all. I got bored. There's a lot of the what was it, the commentaries, like even the Sonichu one, like, it's not so much now anymore because it's one less thing to worry about. Is someone wondering what I'm going to do Sonichu, even though it's been like months. One way to kill engagement is to kill their ability to engage. And again, in hindsight, considering how long it would take me, or it is going to take me, I should have just privatized them, which is what I'm doing with the old reviews. It's like some of the old reviews, I'm just sort of like taking them off the public view, so that eventually when it comes to doing the when I start revising, which isn't going to mean much again. Again, it's going to be interesting to see how many people pay attention to the dates and all that. This is a video from 2010. By the way, you forgot to mention. No, I didn't forget to mention because this was recorded 10 years ago, and the thing that you are probably thinking of probably didn't exist yet. So that'll be an interesting social experiment, if nothing else. I guess. I suppose. Let's see about that. Okay. Was that the broken up D-pad? I don't recall. I really don't remember. Hold on. Let me get my phone. Should I pause? Pause it. Why not? Fuck. Okay, so yeah, so I spotted the Wonder Swan, the Swan Crystal. Yeah, I forgot that thing had 2 D-pads. And 2 little buttons on there. Yeah, I look at that, and then I look at the prices for the thing, and I'm like, yeah, that's an emulator. That's an emulator thing I'm doing. I mean, illicit means. Forget I said that. I didn't say that. I did not say any of that. You cannot prove otherwise. Mind you, there's a lot of stuff I want to check out. Well, I'm already going there for the 8-bit stuff. But I figured why not. Yeah, by the way, more of that in August because those are easy to put out. And again, I'm saving the big stuff for like September or something. Which, mind you, not a whole lot big, but I'm finally getting around to knocking off the compilations. And I'm not doing like, let's review the compilations. No, I'm mining those things for individual videos. Like much like I did the Valis earlier this month. Like I want to do the Turrican games. Not so much the computer versions because those can go fly a kite. But more the yeah. Thank you, Puzzle League in vertical mode. You broke my brain. Not that it really matters because I'm gonna go to bed soon, but yeah. But yeah, I have to catch up on the streaming game though. Like I really gotta catch up on that streaming game because there's a lot of stuff I gotta pick up on. I still got the second quest of Zelda to play, which I was going to do, but stuff came up. I still have the back end of those Rockman games on Famicom that I gotta do where I'm playing on the actual carts. which I'm actually going to do a bit pre-recorded because there's no way I'm going to be able to do a full stream on that. That's like a couple hours. But I don't know. We'll see. But yeah. Yeah, I blanked out. I think I've said all I needed to say, except, whatever. So I'll probably finish this game up and we'll call it a night. And again, like I said, I'm hoping to do another one maybe next week. Possibly one during the week. Not making any promises there. But I definitely want to be better prepared next time, because this time, like I said, I took a nap. Was only intending on sleeping for like a couple hours and then look. Actually, no, I didn't want to sleep for a couple hours. I slept for a couple hours and I can't even get the fucking story right. God damn it. Yeah, I ran out of stuff to say. I should probably just end it here, but you know what, I'll finish the game. Maybe something else will pop up. Something else will pop up and I'll play, I wanted to get that hard in before. Good. Okay, I'm going to ask a legitimate question here. And because I could probably, you know, for anyone who knows, and I could probably just do the research, but I really don't feel like it, and I'm probably going to forget anyways. Someone want to explain to me how PlayStation movies work? Is that something you stream, or is that something you download? You download the movies, or are you just streaming them? To anyone who was with PlayStation 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, I lost count. Apparently so did Sony, because that's why they just go with pros and stuff like that and whatever. I don't know. Because I'd look this stuff up, but now you get like the AI responder, and the AI is thinking, and they give you an answer, and it turns out to be the wrong answer, and it's like you want to turn that stuff off because you just want to go for pages, but they insist on having that on there because, you know, we're headed for Skynet. We're all gonna die. And we're not that far off. We've already got robot vacuums. hot. It's a little hot there. I didn't slip a little diamond there. 3 extra buddies. Oh well. Yeah, this messes me up playing this on the Switch because I'm only used to like 2 sets of bump. You're playing this on a GBA, you're playing this on the Game Boy player. You only have like 1 set of triggers or bumpers or whatever you want to call them. And there we go. That's not bad. Anyways, for anybody who watches the replay, and I don't know, because I'm kind of curious how PlayStation movies work on, I guess, whatever, you know, again. I haven't bought a new PS3 since... Look, if I'm going to be honest, I hadn't bought a new PSP. Well, no, the last PlayStation that I bought new was the PSP. Because I bought the PS3, I bought secondhand. So the PSP was the last new PlayStation I bought brand new. And if you want to go console, it was the PS3, fuck. You know what the really sad thing is, like, the one thing that genuinely irked me about PlayStation, that had me going, yeah, I'm not buying any more of these consoles, was the lack of backwards compatibility. And I'm talking like, I'm not talking about the backwards compatibility that Microsoft likes to say, where you pop a game in and you play a digital version. No, I'm talking about you pop the game in, it works with your current console. And that's not a thing with the current PlayStation or any of the PlayStations, because why? Because if anything, of all the platforms, PlayStation would have made more sense. Because it's the whole generational thing. It's like PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4. Except you can't play your old shit unless they're a download. You can't play your old discs, apparently. You could only download them. And you can't even do that with a PS5. And why are we continuing that legacy? For fuck's sake, my brain hurts. Okay, yeah, this game didn't last as long as the first one. Who cares? But yeah, it's like, as soon as, like, that was going to be the thing, was like, if they had kept the backwards compatibility for these later consoles, I would have been fine, whatever, I'll buy your new system. Probably secondhand, because it would have been cheaper, but still, I'll buy your newer system, because at least I could play my old games on there. You can't even do that. Unless you buy them again digitally, or whatever. I'm probably off base here. I'm probably talking out of my ass because I don't know what how the PS4 structure works, or 5 or whatever it is. I don't like. God damn it! This is why I wanted to, like, sort of like, I got a lot to say on this. It's not just like the Sony thing. It's a lot of the stuff that's going on, or has been going on. And that's a long-term project. I was going to say, you know, I was going to be like these other folks, going to be like, just talk off the cuff of my head, but this is what talking off the cuff sounds like. Like I'm just like a blithering idiot. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about at this point. Probably because nothing's coming to mind. Probably because I'm tired. Like, genuinely tired for the first time. And I still have a bit of Red Bull. That's going to keep me up. Excellent. Anyways. Don't mind that. I'm not completely done yet. But I wanted to give you a sampler of the this one other game I played. That's going to be review fodder for the PS movie. So it's a streamer. So it's like Prime Video where you could either rent the movies or you could buy to stream the movies. So actually, you know, let's turn this off because it's like this is like I really want to know how that works. Like if somebody knows, but you know, before but if it's like Prime Video where you're not even downloading the movies, you're streaming the movies. And there's some movies that are locked behind a locked behind a paywall, whatever. But it's like you have to buy these things. You have to buy for the license. You have to buy to be able to stream. You have to pay to stream the movie. And then okay, like I have Amazon Prime because I buy a lot of stuff off Amazon, but you also have the Prime Video. And there's also the Prime Gaming where, you know, every few months, every so often they give you free games on like Epics or GOG.com, which is what I use. Because GOG is probably one of the few digital download services that actually does digital downloads right. Because it's on PC. PC Master. Blah, blah, blah. Some people talk about like Steam's also not that bad, but Steam is also DRM. Because the issue with digital downloads is DRM. It's like you could download the games so that they're tied to your account, and GOG, you buy a game, they offer you an installer that you could download and you could do whatever you want. You don't have to be online. You know, I could take the installer and I could install it on another PC and basically do whatever I want with it. And I don't need to be signed to an account or anything like that. That's why I like GOG or itch.io, or I think it's the other one. You know, these sort of things where you could download stuff and you could download these games and programs and you could just do whatever you want without having to worry about DRM. Because that's the real killer of the digital gaming, is the digital rights management, which Steam is. And that's the thing that's sort of killing the console side. Because if you want to buy another PlayStation and you can move your old stuff to the other PlayStation, or like the Wii was the worst with this because everything's tied to your one console. But you could still play those games if you've already downloaded them. But Now I'm getting off on this thing. This is it irritates me to talk about this shit. It really, really does. That's why I've been putting it off for years. And there's a lot of stuff I want to touch on, but I want to, at the same time, I also want to, anyways, come September, I guess, if we make it that far, which we probably will, because I don't, But anyways, this is a game I picked up for like 1 cent on the eShop. Excuse me. Yes, jump. Punch things. Okay, sure. Look, I've already played this. This is not like a new game or anything like that. We're not starting fresh, but this is review number 350, which I think according to plan, actually going according to plan, would be in the end of July. So play as a dude with nice head of hair, I guess. And the hit detection is kind of wanky, but for 1 cent, you can't ask for more. I don't know. Fuck. I'm only gonna play like 1 level and then. But yeah, you play this dude. I guess you play Rafa's World or something like that. I'm not gonna play the whole thing because, well, I've already played the whole thing, and I don't want to spoil anything. Not that there's much to spoil. Anywho. Make a crawl, which is nice. Yeah, that's what I figured. It's like, that's why I'm asking. Like, to anyone who's watching this, who ends up watching this on a replay or whatever, if you use PlayStation Movie or whatever it's called, I don't know, whatever's, you know, you're watching movies on whatever PlayStation, are you downloading the movies or are you just streaming them? If you're streaming them or you're downloading, to anyone who knows, I'd appreciate an answer if you could supply one. If not, that's okay. Really, who cares? So, but yeah, that's something I would like to touch on eventually. Something would be nice. Anyways. So I'm going to be done. I'm done pretty much. Turn that off. Yeah, so I'm going to call it a night because, again, I got to wake up early tomorrow. I got family stuff to take care of. And using a different internet, by the way. Yeah. I know the feeling. I know the feeling. Yeah, don't worry about it. yeah, that's all I got to go on. So, just to reiterate what I said earlier, next batch of reviews are already set in stone. They're probably already uploaded for the most part, save for a couple of them. Working on the stuff for August, which again will probably be lightweight because I want to spend the next couple of months doing some other stuff, including that one video essay of sorts. Got a couple others planned too, including one for my birthday in August, which yeah, that's gonna be wonderful to think about. So, anywho, yeah. Well, it's been fun. I think I'm gonna call it a show. Hopefully, we get to do one next week. And hopefully, it actually happens. Even though stuff tends to happen, and I whatever. But if not, it'll happen when it happens. But I know I'm on vacation at the end of I'm going to be out of town for like the last week of July. But there's already stuff that's scheduled to go up anyway. So as far as the output around these parts, should not be a problem, I don't think. But other than that, that's all I got. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the show for whatever that's worth. Not what I had in mind, but I don't know, we got 90 minutes of mild entertainment, and if not, fuck off and be a fan. Stop ruining things. Enjoy the show, as old Uncle Paul will say. Because all of a sudden, nobody likes the way he books stuff, even though, judging from the few clips I've actually seen of that show, it's no different than when the other guy would have been booking it. But that's another story for another time to be told by somebody else, quite frankly. Oh, trust me, you didn't miss much. Welcome. Oh, welcome. Sorry you came in a little late there, but trust me, you didn't miss much. You missed a whole lot of Puzzle League and a whole lot of Ramble. There's a replay, though. You missed me rambling about the state of stuff and look here. Look, how I don't know how goes your internet. You know what? I'll probably stick around for like another 15 minutes or something like that, just to ramble on stuff. Again, I'm going to throw this out. I don't know if does anybody have a PlayStation, whatever. Do you watch movies on PlayStation? Do you download the movies or do you just stream them like a Netflix or whatever? Like, I'd look that up, but I'm just going to get an AI response that's not all that accurate. And even when I try to look stuff up, you don't always get a straight answer. So, but yeah. Yeah, because I wanted to talk about this whole thing. I'm repeating myself, but it's a 90-minute show. You didn't miss a whole lot. I find myself repeating stuff a lot because I want to repeat as much as possible. Who cares? I don't care. God. Yeah, we're gonna do another one of these. Yeah, I want to do another one of these next week. Never owned a console and switched to PC gaming. Good for you. Good for you. Probably the smartest move you could have done was like switch to PC gaming. Makes life easy. If you're willing to put into work, PC game is not that bad. It's not that bad. It's like there's a lot of work that you have to put into, but Yeah, except the thing with the digital only is that it's not going to be digital. It's going to be streaming. It's going to be clouds. That's the real worry. It's clouds. Everything's going to run off a cloud. You play all your games on a cloud. It's going to be Stadia on a mass scale. Except people are just going to accept it. That's why I can't get, like, I get upset about a lot of things, but this whole thing with the digital only, I can't get upset about it because it's like, what's the point? All I hear is noise. Every time there's a thing that people get upset about, they just accept it because whatever. It's the way things are. Whatever. Moving on. It's unfortunately, it's like I hate, dude. I hate to, dude. I watched a lot of wrestling, and I preview a lot of these. And I watch and I read a lot of these wrestling sites, and there's always the vocal minority that gets brought the vocal minority that gets brought up. But I think that's what it's like you always talk about people being upset. I think it's just the vocal minority, unfortunately. And you say, and there's coverage, there's actual news channels, local news channels covering this stuff. But it's like, who cares? At this point, it's like, yeah, it's the way I feel about it. Digital only is like, I'm not upset because modern. It's like I've said before. It's like I haven't bought a new PlayStation since the PSP. It was my last time I bought a brand new PSP. I bought a PS. Nope, I can't keep. Fuck me. The last new PlayStation was a PSP. PlayStation Portable was the last one I bought brand new. I bought a couple PS3s, but I bought them used. I bought the slim one a few years back, and I only used a couple. I mostly used it for PS1 because the PS1 I've got is also kind of on the fritz. And then I bought a fat PS3 that allegedly plays PS2. I haven't tested it yet. I probably should. Probably should clean that thing up, though, because when I bought it was like so dusty and shit like that. But whatever. Try to get that done before they shut down the PS stores and you can't download anything anymore. But yeah, that's why I'm curious. It's like, if anyone watching this at the end of fucking 100 minutes, you own a PlayStation 4 or 5, you watch movies on PlayStation, do you stream the movies? Do you download the movies? How does that work? Because I'd like somebody like, eh. I don't know. Last console I bought was just because I realized if each end was just an entertainer, wasn't being objective. Like, AVGN is a shtick. Like the whole deal with AVGN was like he plays these old games and he gets upset about them, and that was the whole shtick. But what worked about him that few others, some of the lesser copycats. I don't want to talk about like the guys like Armic or Urinating Tree before he went into sports. He used to do game reviews, but it's like a lot of the angry reviewing style is guys playing these old games and getting and just getting upset over trivial things. I mean, like, sure, some of the complaints were valid, but at the same time, it's like you're making a scene because you can't land the plane in Top Gun. It's like, once you figure that shit out, it's like, oh, I don't know what the big deal is. You could walk over it. You're scum. Cow will fucking pick us a dog shit. And it's like, okay, you could run over little gaps in Super Mario. This beeping noise is annoying, but the beeping noise in better games like Zelda and Metroid, which are constant, by the way, constant. They last forever until you stop sucking or you die. But that's shtick. That was the shtick. And then once he started turning him into actual reviews, that was like, okay. A B-17 bomber. And that was a funny bit, too. Don't get me wrong. That was a funny bit. But, again, that guy's shtick. And it's nothing wrong with that. He used to be funny shtick. Now I watch him, it's like, I mean, guy's been doing it for 2 decades. Like, more power to him. Like, over 2 decades he's been doing that stuff. And, actually, no, it would be more like 2 decades. Actually, the original Simon's Quest was done in 2004, and he did the Jekyll and Hyde one afterwards. He didn't start the series proper till 2006 with Karate Kid. So for me, as far as I'm concerned, that's the official starting point. But yeah, it's like AVGN is shtick, but if you're genuinely curious about some of the stuff that he's looking at, it's not exactly a great look. It's like I would go back to some of the games that were featured in those videos and I'd be like, this isn't so bad. This isn't so bad. I get it. Yeah, that thing is just a money. It's a thing he does for money. You know what? We all get to that point where we gotta make money somehow to, feed the kids and take care of the family, pay the bills. The fact he gets to do that, great, good for you. I chuckle at the thought, but it's something he enjoys doing, and he makes a bit of money out of it. So I like to think he makes a considerable amount of change, and merch. I guess he still has some semblance of merch. But to me, sort of fell off the wagon around 2000. I want to say 08, 09, more or less. Long before the movie came around, which I saw a couple times and probably don't want to see ever again because it's not all that great. But I don't know. That's just me. Like for me, something a little more low key would have fit that character a little more. But you gotta do bigger, better, badder, meaner, something. Yeah, Atari games are acquired taste, especially the older 2600 stuff. That's an acquired taste, and no, it's like it depends on what your first it depends on what your first console was. Like, what was the first time you were exposed to games? Like your first video games, I guess. I feel inform your overall view of things. Like if you started off with Nintendo or whatever it does. Fine with what James does. Just don't pretend you do it for the fans. Well, it could be worse. You could be looking at all the criticism. You could be like, again, our cover star, whatever. Raw footage of TMNT for the nerd video. Oh, really? Hmm. No, Mike Matei was a huge part of that. Like you could say what you will about the stuff that he does. Is like I watch his. I try to, dude. I try watching a couple of his streams. They're not for me. There's an audience for that. I'm not one of them. I'm not going to judge, but he was a huge part of those of like that identity. Like I think that was mostly James and Mike was the combo. Once he left, I tried watching the stuff now. It's like and again, like part of me wonders if that's like maybe I just grew out of it, but I can watch the older stuff and I still get a chuckle out of it. Because at the very least, I think what killed it for me was when he was trying to actually make it. He uploaded because it was 2 decades old. I really didn't think about it, to be honest with you. I didn't think about it until like you just mentioned it. And again, it's this is the theme going forward for a lot of the stuff that I'm going to be covering down the road. This yeah, and they were a little more. It's that's gonna be it's gonna be an interesting ride for these next several because it's gonna be a whole lot of this thing is 40 years old. This thing is also 40 years old. How old are you feeling right now? Hey, you're tired of all those things that are 40 or 50 years old? How about something that's only 30 years old? And so on and so forth. And most of that stuff is early PlayStation 2 and 2 as in TOO, not the number 2. which is another can of worms. Oh god damn it. That's 20 years old too. Dear Lord. Now everything's old and crusty and dying. That's what I would suggest to everybody. You want to get into physical media. You've got seven and a half generations of stuff. You've got seven and a half generations of consoles that have physical media. And I can guarantee you that if you buy the physical media for those consoles, you'll have the full game without a download of a day one patch. I need to stop talking about that stuff. I really, really do. I gotta save that for that one video. That I gave myself a deadline of September 11th. So it's giving me a good couple of months to actually formulate some kind of thing. Yeah, I'm out. I'm out of the key demo in a couple of years. I'm turning 45 in August. I'm out of the key demo, 5 years from now. So at this point, I don't care. Like I look at all the stuff that I used to enjoy as a kid, and I'm like, remember when you used to get excited about a Star Wars movie? Those were the days. Now it's like one every year, and now it's a TV show. Now we're getting back into movies, except it's a TV show on the big screen, and it's like, because everything has to be the Marvel formula, and the Marvel formula. Even the Marvel movies. Once Endgame came along, I was like, punching myself on the jaw now. It's like, then it's Star Trek, that's the current crop of Star Trek is coming to an end in a couple of years because they got the last couple seasons and 60th anniversary coming up. Ugh. And again, that was like, remember when that was an event? 10 years since they last put the last Star Trek Beyond, which I actually kind of liked. I like those, I like the Kelvin movies. Some people are like, nah, it's not real Star Trek, but, my older brother, who, by virtue of being older and was able to watch all the Star Trek stuff, usually, if he likes something about Star Trek, that's usually a good sign. So I usually defer to him before I watch anything. But yeah, that's 60 years old. Yeah. I'm just yeah, I've run out of things to say. Yeah. Anyways, closing at 1 in the morning right about now. I am going to call it a show. Hopefully I get to do another one next week. Would be nice. But if not, hey, whatever. I used to watch some anime. Not so much these days, but I had a couple back in the day. That's another one. There's a lot of stuff I used to watch. I really need to get back into or try to catch up on, but I am like, eh. Yeah, yeah. Well, well, glad you showed up. Yeah, I was like, I figured why not give it another half hour. Don't want to really play anything, but hey. So, anyways, glad you were able to come in. Better late than never. You want to replay the whole show? Again, not a whole lot to say. Oh, I'm already there. No, you know what? To be fair, I'm doing better than I have in years. To be honest with you, especially now that I've got my bowels being taken care of. Thankfully, no surgery as of yet. I've got like treatments and stuff like that, but nothing really extraneous. I just it's just a needle that they bump like some antibiotics and stuff like that, and a couple pills here and there. So, that'll be fine. So, anywho, I'm gonna call it a night for real this time. Try to do this again next week. Hopefully, you know what? If I could squeeze one during the week, we'll do one during the week. Probably won't be as long, but yeah, washing the dishes, excellent. But yeah, the another lightweight round of reviews coming up. That's probably the only consistent thing right about now. Got a couple, working on a couple other things. Want to get the gimmick tables up and running for September, and yeah. So, anyways, I'm going to bed. Thanks for watching. Until next time, take care, be safe, and good night. I'll try to come up with a nicer title next time. Till then, fuck off and enjoy the show. Good night.